Morning, everybody. Football Talk. I am your host, Bo, and welcome on this beautiful Wednesday morning. We have week 7 picks coming up. It looks like we definitely have some more bad games in prime time this week, so at least the NFL has been consistent. So let's kick it off with a couple of 2-4 teams on Thursday Night Football, bound to be better than the last two. No one's wearing an orange jersey, so I think it's going to be all right. That being said, it's the Saints and Arizona. Neither one have been able to do a whole lot this season. Both are really underperforming based on early predictions going into the year. That being said, I think that the Saints can go on the road, get this win. Arizona seems to be really inconsistent and have no real continuity as far as being able to move the ball. So I'm going to go with the Saints on the road. Let's go into our morning games. We got the Ravens in a divisional game against the Browns. Both have had pretty major fourth quarter letdowns. I think the Ravens are the better team. Plus, they're at home. I think that they can get it done. We got Tampa Bay at Carolina. This isn't going to be much of a game. Carolina's probably the worst team in the league. I know the Browns or the Lions still exist, but Carolina seems completely dysfunctional. Plus, at this point, they're starting to dismantle pieces of their team. I know Christian McCaffrey has, they're taking calls on whether or not they want to trade him. They already got rid of a receiver. So I figure the fall of Carolina is imminent at this point. And so Tampa Bay bounces back and gets a win. I got the Bengals at home over Atlanta. Both teams are 3-3. Actually should be a pretty good game. That offensive line is looking like it might just get Burrow killed, despite the fact that they spent $72 million on that offensive line. It has not been very good. And Atlanta is a better team than what I was giving them credit for coming into the year. So although they're pretty evenly matched, I'm going to take the Bengals at home. I got Dallas over Detroit. Again, the Lions aren't very good. And after the beatdown that they took week before last in against the Patriots, it doesn't look like the offense is going to be as dynamic as it had been through the first 4 weeks. And if that's the case, that defense certainly isn't going to keep them in any games. And Dallas is a good team. Granted, they're in third place in their division, but a 4-2 record would be leading most divisions at this point. Got the G-Men over the Jags. The Jags are another bad team that seem to be in their own way more than anything else. And the Giants at 5-1 appear to be the real deal. It's hard for me to say. Again, the Giants and the Jets have been bad for so long. It's really hard to accept that they might actually be a good team. But they've put some nice pieces together, and they're winning. So I can't pick against them this week, as I really don't believe in the Jags. So we got the Titans at home versus the Colts. Both teams, well, Titans are 3-2, Colts are 3-2-1. Neither team is really living up to the potential that they were predicted to have. A lot of people thought the Colts would win this division. I thought that the Titans would win it again, but this will be for the division lead, and neither team is really what I expected, but are both finding ways to stumble into wins. So I got the Titans at home, but it should be a close battle. Got Green Bay over Washington, especially now that Wentz is hurt. I don't know that Taylor Heineke has just enough to keep pace with Green Bay. Granted, Green Bay has not played well. They're at 3-3, but could easily have been worse. Rodgers hasn't looked great, and timing with receivers really just kind of been off. There's been some drops. So overall, neither team has looked awesome. Probably going to be a tighter game than it should be, but I think Green Bay gets the win. Moving into the afternoon games, I got the Jets. They get a win in Denver. Denver, again, super underachieving team. They've looked worse each time they've played, lost 2 games in overtime at this point, back to back. And I don't see them recovering. There seems to be more dissension each week as we continue on. So although Russ is out there saying everything's great, we all still believe the tweets and like just kind of random other things that have come out look like maybe that's not the case. With that being said, the Jets have been really solid thus far, and so I think they can get this win kind of easily, especially since Denver is really struggling to put up more than 16 points. They only have 1 game over 16 points, and 3 other times they've scored 16 or less, or exactly 16 and then 2 other less. So I don't think it's going to be much of a game. I got the Raiders in a close battle with the Texans. Both teams, again, are bad. The Raiders are 1-4. Texans are 1-3-1. I think that the Raiders can pull it off. But man, this one could go either way. This is probably my least confident pick of the day. But maybe I'm just picking the Raiders because I expected them to be something that they haven't been yet this year. So I got the Raiders over the Texans, but man, this one could go either way. I have Seattle on the road over the Chargers. Even though the Chargers have a better record, nothing I've seen them do makes me think they are the team that I had picked to win their division this year. So I was way off on that one. They, despite being 4-2, are just not doing much real well. Even in their victories, they haven't looked great. So I'm going to take Seattle to upset the Chargers on the road. I got KC over the Niners. The Niners, they got a good defense, but that offense really hasn't moved the ball around. And I mean, if Mahomes gets rolling, like this game could get out of hand in a hurry. I think it'll end up being, within a touchdown, but I think KC gets the win. And then we get back into primetime games, which really don't have very good teams. We got Miami. Now they do have Tua back, so that'll be interesting to see. That offensive line has been terrible, though. So at this rate, all 3 other quarterbacks have gotten hurt or knocked out of a game. If their O-line is going to continue to protect this way, they're going to have to sign somebody from the stands halfway through the game. That being said, I think they beat the Steelers. I don't know that the Steelers have much faith in Trubisky. And so I figure with Tua back and the weapons they have, Miami can get this win. And then we got the Patriots and the Bears. I like the Patriots over the Bears. I'm surprised the Bears even have 2 wins at this point. They have been completely just awful on the offensive side. And with Zappy, the Patriots look good. They have a solid defense, and especially last week, Zappy put up a nice stat line. So I think that on Monday night, he can shine and get that win for the Patriots. Like, subscribe, let me know which picks you agree with, which ones you don't, and I will talk to you guys later.